Almost everyone relocating to the Huntsville area ends up asking the same question: Huntsville or Madison? People say them like they're the same place, and they're not. Madison is its own city, its own downtown, its own price points, its own feel, and it's right next to Redstone Arsenal and Research Park. So this is the honest guide to moving to Madison in 2026. The commute, the costs, what living here actually looks like, and the trade-offs nobody puts in the brochure. If you're weighing Madison, this one's the one to watch. I'm Kyle Williams with Vista Group at Real Broker LLC, and we help people land in the Huntsville and Madison area every month. We've toured homes all over Madison on the channel, so we know neighborhoods, not just the map. First thing to understand, Madison is its own incorporated city. It's not a Huntsville neighborhood. It sits on the west side, right between Huntsville and the Limestone County line, and it wraps around the airport. And the location's the whole pitch. From most of Madison, you're minutes from Redstone Arsenal and Cummings Research Park. And you're right by the airport, which matters if you travel for work. If you're coming here for a defense or aerospace job, Madison puts you close to all of it. So if you're a buyer who's going to be driving to Redstone Arsenal every day, Madison's one of the shortest, most predictable commutes you can pick in the whole metro. Here are the real numbers. Across Madison County, the median sales price is sitting around $325,000. But Madison, the city, usually runs a little bit above that, with the average home value close to the mid 370s, around $173 a square foot. So compared to Athens or the outskirts, you're going to pay a bit more in Madison. What you're paying for is location and a lot newer construction close to the jobs. There's still new inventory here, which is getting harder to find in a lot of cities. And zoom out for a second. The broader Huntsville area median is about 350. Homes are taking about 54 days to sell, and inventory is actually climbing. So it's calmer than it was a couple years ago. You've got a little bit more breathing room as a buyer than people expect. One more thing that matters here: cost of living in the whole area runs about 9% under the national average, and Alabama has some of the lowest property taxes in the country. So even at Madison prices, your monthly picture often looks better than where you're coming from. Day to day, Madison has its own downtown, its own gathering spots. Town Madison, out by the Trash Panda Stadium or Toyota Field, has restaurants and events. Then you've got the older downtown Madison area with the local shops. So it's not just subdivisions here. It's an easy place to get around, and you've got parks, the greenway, and everyday stuff like grocery stores and shopping close by. And because you're right off the interstate and the parkway, getting into Huntsville for a concert or a bigger event is super easy. If you're moving with family, the thing you'll hear people talk about the most is the schools. We're gonna handle that the right way in a second, but the lifestyle piece, the parks, the ballpark, the local restaurants, that's a real part of why Madison stays in demand. Here's how we'd coach you. Madison has two school systems depending on where the address sits: Madison City School and parts that fall under Madison County. What we will do is send you the official district zone maps so you can type in any address and see exactly which school it feeds. That's the only way to do it right, because zones change and they're specific to the street. We'll drop the Madison City Schools locator and the county locator in the description. Check the actual address every time. Same with picking a neighborhood. Tell us how you live, the commute you want, the kind of home you want, and we'll match you to areas that fit. One reason Madison holds its value is the job engine next door. US Space Command is moving its headquarters to Redstone, and that's bringing well over 1,000 positions, plus a wave of contractors over the next couple years. That's on top of the aerospace and defense industry that's already here. So if you're coming in for one of those jobs, you're not alone. And the steady demand is part of why Madison homes tend to hold up well over time. And if you're using a VA loan, this is a VA savvy market. We close VA loans every month. We know the builders and sellers who are used to it. And a strong VA offer competes right alongside a conventional here. We handle it all through the whole process with you. Honest take, Madison is going to cost you a bit more than Athens or the outlying towns. And on the busiest commute times, the main roads do back up. That's just real. If stretching your dollar as far as possible is the whole goal, you might land outside of Madison. But if you want to be close to the jobs in a city with its own identity and newer homes, Madison is one of the most consistent choices in North Alabama. A lot of people happily pay for the location. If you're deciding between Madison and somewhere else in the area, comment below and tell me where you're coming from. What matters most to you? I read every comment and I'll give you my honest opinion. And if you want to see inside Madison homes, we've got full tours in Town Madison. We'll link those at the end. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.